Welcome to this episode of Wiki Walks, a short podcast devoted to some of the more intriguing and, who knew, articles that you can run across in the weird world of Wikipedia. I'm your host, Chris Grismer. Well, hello friends, coming to you live from Texas, where the silver lining to all of our tornadoes is that occasionally they help keep the heat down. So, there's that. But being that it is summer, with July 4th right around the corner, you no doubt might find yourself sweltering in front of a mound of charcoal, grilling up burgers and glizzies, perhaps a brat or three, and there's also a high likelihood that you're using Kingsford charcoal. Now, you might notice that the name Ford is in Kingsford, and you might think it's somehow tied to the Ford Motor Company. Well, you're wrong. Well, actually you're right, but you're wrong about why. So I don't know what that makes you, but see, everyone associates Henry Ford with the automobile in the invention of the assembly line, but you also have the American businessmen to thank for those aforementioned backyard cookouts. An avid outdoorsman and early environmentalist, Henry Ford found a way to solve two problems: waste from his sawmill and cooking fuel source for camping trips, with the invention of Kingsford charcoal. Henry Ford was experiencing phenomenal success with this assembly line-produced Model T, and by 1919, his company was producing 1 million cars a year. You can have any color you want, so long as it's black. About 100 board feet of wood went into each car, in the steering wheel, dashboard, and other parts. Ford wanted his own source of wood, so he wasn't at the mercy of other suppliers and inconsistent costs. So he contacted his cousin's husband, Edward G. Kingsford, a Michigan real estate agent, to help him find and purchase timberland. He found just what he needed in Iron Mountain, Michigan, and Ford built a sawmill there to cut the wood for shipping to Detroit. Ford, a nature lover, was also an early environmentalist and lived by the motto, reduce, reuse, and recycle. He was bothered by the wasted wood at his Iron Mountain sawmill. There was a surplus of leftover stumps, branches, and sawdust. Ford hated to see the resources going unused and unprofited upon, and sought a way to make use of the byproducts of his sawmill. When he wasn't overseeing production at his Ford assembly plant, Henry Ford loved to spend his time outdoors. He frequently went on camping trips with his cousin-in-law, Kingsford, and his friends, inventor Thomas Edison and American naturalist and essayist John Burroughs. It was on one of these camping trips that Ford figured out what he could make with the scrap wood and sawdust from his sawmill. One problem Ford often encountered when camping was finding enough dry wood and kindling to build and sustain a fire that was hot enough to cook food over. Ford found that he could use the scraps and sawdust, pressed into lumps held together by tar and cornstarch, as a quick and easy way to start a cooking fire. He named these lumps charcoal briquettes and built a briquette manufacturing facility next door to the sawmill. By the mid-1930s, Ford was marketing picnic kits containing charcoal and portable grills at Ford dealerships, capitalizing on the link between motoring and outdoor adventure that his own vagabond travels popularized. Enjoy a modern picnic, the package suggested: sizzling broiled meat, steaming coffee, toasted sandwiches. It wasn't until after World War II that backyard barbecuing really took off, thanks to suburban migration and the invention of the Weber grill and the marketing efforts that ensued. An investment group bought Ford Charcoal in 1951 and renamed it to Kingsford Charcoal in honor of Edward G. Kingsford and the factory's home base name, and took over the operations. The plant was later acquired by Clorox in 1973. So the link between Henry Ford and Kingsford Charcoal represents the unexpected connection between two American icons. So the next time you fire up the grill for a T-bone, it's actually the Model T that you should thank.